Speak Korean!
제 191회 번개가 있거든.
안녕하세요. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Speak Korean. I'm your host Lisa Kelly and we've got a wonderful program, fun-filled and with a new face as well, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Hello, Stephen.
안녕하세요. I'm Stephen Revere. Thank you all for joining us once again. And today's dialogue is going to require not just simple explanation of grammar and vocabulary, but also a lot of cultural explanations.
네,
because
맞아요.
if you don't understand Korean culture, you're not going to understand what the heck they're talking about either. But we'll get to that in just a moment after we meet an old face and a new face.
Hi Steven, hi Lisa. 여러분 안녕하세요. My name is Marina and I'm from Ukraine.
Hello everyone, my name is Yoshihiro Ogata. I'm from Japan. Call me Yoshi. Konnichiwa.
Yoshi now, handsome man, available, ladies, available. Okay, let's get started. Here's today's lesson.
Wrap it up
With Lisa.
and Steven.
깜빡했네.
뭘 또 잊어버렸어?
오늘 저녁에 번개가 있거든.
번개라니? 오늘 비 온대?
Alright, our dialogue was quite short, but you might have recognized a couple vocabulary words in there. 깜빡했네. Okay, here's my pen. Alright. This is something for Stephen to explain in just a minute. 깜빡했네. Okay, and I just want to look pretty for everyone. 깜빡. Hint, hint, hint. Listen to these. He'll explain them in a minute. The first line was 깜빡했네. It's just like, oh, and then 깜빡했네. I forgot.
Yeah, 깜빡하다 is another way of saying I forgot something. And notice when Lisa was talking, she was talking about blinking her eyes, and she said 깜빡, right? And then also on a car, the blinker on your car is called the 깜빡이. So I think you're starting to get, it's a flickering, kind of a flickering or something. Well, when you forget something for a moment, right? You knew it before, but you didn't know it at the very important moment, and then you remembered it later, like right now. 깜빡했네. I forgot this just for a second.
Put down your scripts, and then 깜빡했네. Like this.
깜빡했네.
All right?
깜빡했네.
All right. 깜빡했네. Second line. 뭘 또 잊어버렸어? Do you remember our last lesson we had 잃어버렸어, and now we have 잊어버렸어. Very similar sounding, but as we said, very different. But there is a gray area where you could go back and forth, we said last time, because you forget something and then you lose something.
또, okay, don't do 더, more, because 더 is a totally different word, isn't
Right.
it? 또, again, 더, more, but this is 또, again, and 있다, to forget something, 잊어버리다, to completely forget something, right? It's all over, and then 잃다, 잃어버리다, once you conjugate that one, that is to lose something. Two different ones.
And the word 또 reminds me of a song. There's a really popular song. You may look it up on the internet. It's by 이순희. It's called 또 그렇게 또. She says 또 a lot in that song, okay? Third, 오늘 저녁에 번개가 있거든. 번개. This is a good vocabulary word to know because you don't run into it.
번개 is a meeting that takes place on the spur of the moment. Now, originally they have 정모, and then 번개 is a meeting.
Wait a second. What is 정모?
정모.
It's like a Korean name, 정모.
Yeah, like sounds like a guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Jong-mo. No, it's not a person's name. What it is it's 정해져 있는 a 모임. Okay, 모임 is meeting. And 정해져 있는, 정해진, that is something that is determined or decided or prearranged. So something that happens on your meeting, maybe you have your regular monthly or weekly meeting, but then outside of that, you have this 번개, which is thunder, okay? The sound of, thunder and lightning. This one is the sound. 번개, you have thunder, okay? That is the spur of the moment meeting. We've had golden many times now to give the reason for something else. And then Lisa goes, 깜빡했네. I forgot for a minute. There's a meeting tonight. Then she remembers that. Oh, I better make sure to go. 번개가 있거든. That's why I forgot something.
And be reminded, you want to be careful. You use 거든 at the end of your sentence only with really close friends, okay? And then our last sentence, Stephen says, 번개라니? Rani, okay? 번개라니. What do you mean, 번개, thunder? We're having rain tonight? 오늘 비 온대? Okay, 비, rain. Today we're having rain or it's coming?
Rani, we've had this before too, right? What are you talking about is what I'm saying. You hook a noun to Rani, and all of a sudden you're saying, what are you talking about, right? Whereas if you say Dani, you would put a verb plus Tani. What are you talking about with that? But with the nouns, Rani or Irani if it has a 받침, right? That's the 받침 enabler vowel.
네. So let's repeat that sentence as well. 번개라니? 오늘 비 온대? Be careful how you raise your sentences. 번개라니? 오늘 비 온대?
번개라니? 오늘 비 온대?
번개라니? 오늘 비 온대?
네.
Good. And that 비 온대, what does that mean? We've had this a million times before. Did you hear, did somebody say that it's going to rain, right? So, of course, the thunder comes with rain, therefore, 번개 비 온대? Did they say that it's going to, did the weatherman say it's going to rain?
Exactly, I was just going to say, here he'd be referring to the weatherman or the news most likely, right? Okay, let's go into Korean Insight. Korean Insight. In today's Korean Insight, we've got a lot of stuff that you use at your office or at your desk that actually don't really translate into what we know as the English term, right?
It's not quite Konglish and it's not quite English anyway. We're
gonna-
going to give you a little quiz.
Right. We got a whole bunch of them, but we'll just do a couple today. What is this?
Start out with the easy one.
Right.
What would you call this in Korean?
매직.
Magic.
Magic?
What is it in Japanese?
마직.
Magic. Yes, of course. Very different pronunciation, obviously.
here
Gee,
because-
yes.
So we call
And
that
in
a...
Ukraine?
We call it marker.
Marker. Yeah, it's a magic marker in English.
What about this one that Stephen's
I
holding
think
up?
this is a great day to get a Japanese guy on the show because I'm going to guess that this one is the same in Japan. What?
터치키스.
한국말로도 in Korean it's also 호치키스, but the original name is derived from the person who actually invented the stapler.
The German guy.
Yes, his last name is 호치키스, so Koreans and Japanese call this a 호치키스, and there is no pure Korean name for this, by the way. It's called 호치키스. How about one more? 네, 이건 뭘까요?
Another one. This is a mechanical pencil in
Mechanical
English.
pencil.
What would we call it in
Do you know?
샵.
Japan? Japan, can you tell?
샵 펜.
Shop pen? Ah, really?
That's what.
Forget that pen stuff in Korean. It's just a shop.
네. Could I have you go over the grammar just for us?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Then later on we had 번개가 있거든. Remember that one? That is the reason, the thing I forgot. You're giving the reason for forgetting something, kind of. The thing I forgot was that we had a spontaneous meeting, the 번개, okay? And then 번개라니. What are you talking about with the 번개? 비 온대? Did they say it's gonna rain?
All right, and our lines are quite short, so while you listen to our flash animation, how about repeating after them? Here we go. 아, 깜빡했네.
뭘 또 잊어버렸어?
오늘 저녁에 번개가 있거든.
번개라니? 오늘 비 온대?
Well, thank you for joining us. 아, 깜빡했네요. Let's say bye-bye to Stephen too. Hey.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye everyone. See you